Jai Sri Ram, everybody. Welcome to Bharat Marg. Welcome, Vinay Ji. Thank you for joining us. Today we are going to discuss about friends Donald Trump attack and इसका इलेक्शन का क्या इसमें असर पड़ेगा, क्या हमें अभी तक खबर मिलती है, कौन किया, क्यों किया, ये सब के बारे में बात होगा. We are so happy to have our political analyst Vinay Ji with us, and let's let's get started with some great new big updates, friends. Okay, but before going further, please make sure to like the video, comment on the video, share the video with as many people as you can, friends, and also make sure to subscribe the channel Bharat Marg if you didn't already, and also we are involved, and press the notification bell to stay connected so that whenever we go live you are aware of, and we are involved in Sanskrit teaching. If you are interested in Sanskrit learning, it's a free course. You can register by sending a WhatsApp to us, and also pilgrimage in Bharat if you want to go, and a lot of things we are involved in, friends. You can see the posters here, and also have the WhatsApp number. If you have any question, you can send us a WhatsApp, and we send out one dharmic message every day in multiple language it goes. And if you are interested, you can also connect with us in the WhatsApp में हमें मैसेज भेजिए, नाम क्या है, किधर से संपर्क कर रहे हैं, क्या लैंग्वेज, कौन सा लैंग्वेज में चाहिए, आपको मिल जाएगा. Okay, but you please support us by sharing this video, friends, and also make sure to donate us, because we need your donation for continuing our work. And if you like what we do, please donate. And this is the our WhatsApp number, and contact us if you are interested. We will guide you from there on. Okay, or go to bharatmark.com. You will find about donate now button. You can do that. Okay, Vinay ji, thank you for joining us. Welcome. Hare Krishna. Now, you know, let's get start with updates. What you have on Donald Trump attack, and we will go from there. One of the things what the world saw yesterday, there were two shots. Okay, I'll just give a opening thing of mine, which you can cover. Okay, um, two shots. One is like 10, 11 bullets that went through him, went past him, and one, luckily, it just got his ear, and but he ducked. Okay, but what the world saw and impressed was the next shot. After that, you must see this, friends. ये देखिएगा, ये कैसा है, ये शॉट जो है, ये दिस इज द वायरल शॉट. Okay, see, he was raised. He's 79 years old or something, Vinayji,
28.
and he wakes up, and he might make sure that literally the people were crying there in the rally. They didn't know what to do, panic and everything. The Secret Service gets him up, and he raises the fist not one time. In fact, he was about to come out of the hurdle of the, ये इसको जो पकड़ के रखे थे सीक्रेट सर्विस ने, उससे बाहर आने की कोशिश कर रहा था वो. So because they formed a ring to make sure that nobody, they cannot pierce him or anything like that, right? But he shows the fist like this one time, and before getting getting out of the stage, when he was frisked, he does this again. और इसमें क्या बड़ी बात है, उनको कार में जब बिठाया गया, armed vehicle में, he is showing this again, and people saw this, and enemies saw that too. And this is a viral photo here. This is a viral shot. Vinay ji, take it off. Yeah, how do you see his leadership, and what happened to him, and what kind of impact it will have on America?
It is. Thank you for inviting me. And it is unfortunate that these things are happening in today's world in 2024. The last president that was killed in the United States, ruling president actually, was JFK, sometime in the 60s. And after that, there have been some minor incidents, I should say, with George Bush Jr.
And Reagan too.
I'm sorry?
Ronald Reagan. Yeah.
Yeah, like little things, simple things, but nothing as serious as this, where one of the one of the people who actually came to witnessed the rally. He was a Trump supporter, a Republican supporter. Unfortunately, he was killed, and the funny thing was, when I mean, Trump is not the current president, of course, but he's a contender, and he's on the final list. So it's a head-on race between Donald Trump and Joe Biden, who is the current president of the United States. The unfortunate thing is, there were security lapses. It is apparent that there were security lapses, and even many of the media houses like Reuters, Bloomberg, and so many of them have come out and openly said that this is unprecedented and unimaginable that such a security lapse happened, especially when the elections, U.S. presidential elections, are only about 4 or 5 months away. And Trump is becoming extremely popular, and his popularity rating is rising every day. And Joe Biden's popularity is going down every day because of all the faux pas that happened in the last few days. I should actually say few months or maybe few years, because all the the slips and the mistakes that Mr. Joe Biden has done, and and it's also his way of I should say his age is catching up, and he is kind of becoming senile, and who knows what's happening. So they're just, Democrats are stuck with this candidate and they don't want to change him. And as a result, Trump is gaining popularity. So I don't know the exact conspiracy behind this. I don't want to come up with conspiracy theories, but it so happens that the person, what's his name, the person who was actually involved in the killing, there's a 20-year-old boy by the name Matthew Crooks, and he's from Bethel Park in Pennsylvania. And this was the rally was happening in Pennsylvania, and he was apparently this was actually in Butler, Pennsylvania, and it's about 30 miles, 50 kilometers north of Pittsburgh. Okay, so Trump had just begun a campaign speech, and suddenly the shots rang out, and it hit the former president's right ear.
Means
imagine,
it's a millimeters away. He just turned like this, and it
literally millimeters away. It hit the former president's right ear, and his face was completely bloodied with red blood, like his own blood actually. And he was still shouting, "Fight, fight, fight!" And then the Secret Service jumped on him and protected him, and
maybe he would have got. They really jumped on him, means to save him.
But the funny thing was, the guy Matthew Crooks was on top of a building, and normally when such speeches are happening, and the Secret Service main duty, because I mean you go back to many years ago when de Gaulle, the French president, there was an attempt on his life, and I'm talking several years ago, and this was the shooter was on top of the building. Same thing with the JFK. He was somewhere in the crowd, but he was on top of the
this
building.
Is only one of the two buildings over there.
Exactly, and they should have easily protected that, and I'm not sure why they did not. So those are questions that need to be answered.
Absolutely.
So there is something going on here, and I don't want to get into those details.
Absolutely. Vinay Ji, the worst thing is there were people who complained the Secret Service. There is a guy at the top, doing something suspicious. as much as they can, but there was no action taken place. And there were a couple of red flags. Let me discuss about it before we go on to the next one. Okay, that is, the Donald Trump campaign has requested many times the increase in security personnel of the Secret Service because there was a threat, but Biden administration completely denied it. How do you see it? Will this play around? Will
You know what? I don't know the exact details of that, so I'm not going to, give you some speculative
because
answer.
the former FBI agent, he puts out this one. Okay, you have rejected his thing. He just tweeted, means in X. Okay, so this is a verified statement. Yeah.
Yeah, no. I'm just saying because I don't know the exact details of it, so I don't want to speculate anything. But what I am suspecting is, and this is my own opinion. I have a feeling that there was definitely there were security lapses, and you could be right. Maybe Trump had
But
asked
they saved him, on the spot. They did a good job. But
additional.
it
No,
is
no,
the
that's
top
their job.
management we are
That's their
talking about.
job. You know what? They put their own lives at risk. The thing with United States, is the way it works. Former presidents get protection from U.S. Secret Service. Okay, not only the current president, but also the former presidents. All the former presidents get security service, but it's only at one point the president, they still former presidents are also called presidents. They're addressed as President Clinton, President Trump, President Obama, whatever, right? So any of these former presidents, if they feel that what they don't need so much security, they can request the government and say, hey, you know what, I don't need 10 people, I can manage with two. Or
I don't know whether the current administration called him President Trump. They definitely called him Hitler. They steered the whole thing. What they didn't call him off. They did all the name calling.
oh yeah, I mean, like when he was the president of the United States, they had they called him everything
Yes,
fascist.
even the day before the attack.
Yeah, they called him fascist, Hitler, and so many of those words. I mean, Trump is an extremely strong person. He's extremely assertive, and sometimes he can get aggressive as well. But the thing is, he's got an agenda of putting everything else behind, and making and putting the Americans on the forefront, and they are his priority. The
Absolutely.
Americans are his priority, and that's the reason he is kind of a lot of the immigrants who have moved to the United States. They're not in favor of Trump because he only believes that Americans born brought up who are many generations Americans, they are the ones who are priority for him.
Absolutely. Vinay ji, now there are other aspects to it. Let's move on from here. FBI says here is the Republican, registered Republican. He was the 20-year-old guy was, and he
Democrat. He
shot
was a
him.
Democrat voter.
But they say registered Republican. That's a news. Okay, but having said that, okay, registered Republican. Okay, but having said that, people, I am talking to a lot of independent voters, a lot of Indian community over there. Okay, I've been in calls throughout. Okay, what I am hearing is they are not trusting FBI. They say this is the same FBI that cooked the Russian you know bogus bogey. This is the same FBI that said, "Oh, Saddam Hussein has, chemical weapons. He is going to destroy the world." They say this is the same FBI are today they're giving the BS. Okay, what do you see like this? People are not trusting FBI. There is no trust.
No, you're right. Actually, I mean, again, I don't trust the statement that they have made. I mean, what you just mentioned. That's why I was trying to correct you. But you're right. I mean, they have mentioned that he was a registered Republican, according to state voter records. But he had also made a $15 donation to a Democrat Political Action Committee at the age of 17. So I'm kind of not sure whether the guy was confused himself. 17 is like only 3 years ago that he was supporting a
You,
Democratic Political Action Committee by donating
who in the age
$15.
17 donates $15 to a political
Yeah,
campaign?
to the Democrat, and then he claims himself to a registered Republican voter. So I'm not again sure, and yes, you're right, absolutely. With regards to the FBI, I mean, like they have messed up in the past by making all
It's
kinds
a
of different
political
things.
organization. Let's face it.
Well, I'll tell you something. I mean, like, in the United States, a lot of these federal organizations are extremely autonomous and extremely independent. Okay, they have no political interference. Okay, however, they could be used for the benefit of
And
the
they all
ruling.
ganged up against Trump regarding the Russian
I
collusion
mean,
and
it's
other.
possible because you know what? End of the day, right? Like the entire there's a segment of United States. There's a section of United States political powers to be, you can call them, that don't want Trump to come back to power. Okay, and they are bent upon keeping him out of this race. But unfortunately, Trump was the main contender for the 2024 elections from the Republican Party, and they couldn't keep him out because he won fair and square because he was nominated, and he had people like Vivek Ramaswamy, and so many others, right? And they all kind of withdrew, and eventually, now it's his race. So
Absolutely,
now they can't
absolutely.
keep him out. So
Vinay, I have a question for you. I
mhm.
am talking to a lot of independents, seeing a lot of social media posts, seeing the feeds, the comment area. Okay, so in my analysis, what I find is a lot of independent voters. Okay, not the Republican, not the liberal, not the right or left. The independent voters, they are saying enough is enough. You have put this guy into the court and wanted to lock him in, for no reason. And now you want to get rid of him because you cannot win. And they have got it enough. And, I just want to say you, in last one night, 10% increase in favorability of Trump becoming the president because they saw his fist going up. That is a magic moment there. Okay, you if you are China, if you are Iran, wearing that cap, Vinay Ji, he is attacked and he is showing the fist and says fight, 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 and the crowd goes nuts. The crowd was crying before, going nuts. USA, USA, USA. The chant is just going over the roof. How do you see these things?
No, this is a huge, a very, very serious thing. Like, look at this man. He missed, and had the bullet just moved an inch towards his face, it would have hit his brain, and he would have been dead right on the spot.
Mhm.
But it's lucky that the man escaped with minor injuries. But now this picture that you have on the screen, right? This is a picture that is actually going to make Trump win this elections, because this is a huge, huge thing for Trump and for the Republicans and for the party, because it kind of brings a kind of an emotion to the people who are voting. And when they look at this picture, they feel that, what, a man standing in front of the United States flag with his fists raised, and his face is bloody, and the Secret Service is standing right behind him to protect him, and he is being shot at, and he barely missed getting killed. And this man is like, is people are now thinking, was this a politically motivated assassination attempt, right? Was
Absolutely.
this is there something more behind this what about this guy's name is Matthew Thomas Matthew Crooks, right? Was there somebody else behind it? A 20-year-old guy, if he's making this such a bold move, I mean, like, don't get me wrong, in the United States, guns are very easily available. Okay, you can buy guns with telescopic lens and all that, but
But it is
imagine.
expensive too. You cannot buy
No, but
just like that.
just, yeah, give me a second here. All I'm saying is this boy was on top of a building, okay, and he is. I don't know what the distance between him and Trump
300
was.
meter.
Sorry,
300 meter.
300 meters. Okay, so yeah, I missed that somewhere, but
It is
300
just
meters.
outside the security ring.
Exactly. Now, 300 meters, if he has to shoot at that range, 300 meters, it is not possible for a 20-year-old guy without any training to kind
He
of.
must be an experienced sniper.
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to get to. This is what I'm trying to say. So he has been trained. He must have been trained. And you know what? A lot of times the people, like, the political assassinations, they pick people without any criminal backgrounds, without any major associations or
And
links to.
having a Republican, registered Republican
Right,
ID.
and they also make sure that he's kind of more, towards the person who is actually getting assassinated or attempted assassination, and such people are picked, very carefully by whoever the brains behind, and they are brought in and they get trained, and you know what, this is not something that just happened. Okay, this was not the spur of the moment kind of a thing. This has been planned for probably days, months, weeks. I'm not sure.
Absolutely. Vinayji, well, last question to you. I have been talking to Indian community people a lot. Okay. Means even the support, the people who were not supporting, you can say Indian community is not a very big community. It's like 1.2% and 1.2 1.3 Hindu community essentially, okay, in, yeah, America. But the Hindu community is one of the wealthiest communities over there too, which are the donors, okay, for these political this thing. So you know what they are saying. You know what, I see the similar kind of attack that we were seeing on Modi here on Donald Trump. Now they are saying, you know what, we cannot take it. I am going to put this man because in the office, because we see strength in him. He is not afraid to take the bullet, and he is not afraid to stand up for what he believes in, and he is not going to give up on the fight. And there is a huge swing of independent and Indian voters. Okay, I'm talking about Indians because we are talking in Bharat Mark Hindu voters, I mean. Okay, and of course the independent voters. How do you see that last question, sir? 30 seconds.
So what was the question actually? I kind of
Means
missed.
there is a huge swing after this
Right?
from the both the Hindu community as well as the independent voters.
Yeah,
Huge
I mean,
swing.
like, the thing is, you got to keep in mind that the
And donations are pouring.
right, the population of Indians, I'm talking about Indians comprising of all religions from India, right? Whether it's a Hindu, Muslim, Christian, whatever, right? It's about 1.35% of the US population, which is about 4.9 million people. All right. If you look at the actual only Hindu population in the United States coming from India, it's 0.7%. Okay, so 0.7%, which is half of the population from India are Hindus, and the remaining half are probably Muslims, Christians, Buddhists, and Jains, and whatever. Okay, so that's the kind of demographics, and you're right, absolutely. I mean, like, I'll give you an example. A few years ago, just I think it was about four and a half years ago, when Modi came for to meet with Trump in Texas. It was called Howdy
Howdy. How,
Howdy
how,
Modi, right?
uh-huh.
And that event that took place in Texas was attended by like almost about 100,000 people. I think it was about 80,000 people in the stadium, and Trump was again actually going for elections at the time for his second term, and Modi came to that thing, and he was amazed at the support of the Indian community and the Indian diaspora in that stadium, and like Trump was just blown away, and that is the fact actually, and there's a mixed support for Trump from the Indian population, and I'll tell you, my own friends, some of them hate Trump because these guys who are living in India in the United States are kind of in limbo because they've been living in the United States for almost 10, 15 years, but they have not gotten their green card because there's a whole process to get your green card in the United States. So they're not very happy because they know if Trump comes back, there's a possibility that they may be deported, they may go
Yeah.
back, they may have to lose their, because
Yeah.
once they lose their jobs and
If
stuff like that.
Biden comes back, he will put him on the 7-Eleven and say 7-Eleven smells Indian or Dunkin' Donuts smells.
Whatever, yeah, exactly. So there's that population, and then there is a population of Indians who actually support Trump to the fullest, actually. So Trump does have a big population. I mean, I'm talking about Mexicans. Actually, you'll be surprised that many Mexicans actually support Trump. But again, the people who are in limbo, like the people who came in illegally to the United States, they are the key people who are afraid that Trump is going to throw them away. Because once you're a U.S. citizen, once you're a green card holder, nobody can deport you unless you get into any criminal activities and stuff like that. So these are people actually support Trump because they're seeing the way the economy is working in the United States, because every day illegal immigrants and a lot of these other immigrants are coming in and taking away the locals' jobs. And that's what Trump is going to stop once he becomes the president. And that's what he has promised, right? So we'll see what happens.
Absolutely. Friends, it is a big news. There is a 10-point swing. Okay. What do you think about it? And Vinayji, thank you for coming and covering. It is a big news in US politics, friends. Never it happened. Never will happen again, hopefully. Okay. But what do you say? Comment and let us know. Looking forward to seeing you again. Thank you, Vinayji. Jai Sri Ram.
Thank you, Ji.